Please note that in this recording, some of the questions may be inaudible, but the Master's answers are audible and clear.
Master, is there any particular significance to the Master's yawn during meditation?
During what? Then you will ask any significance of my sleeping, or my eating, or my walking.
I ask it because I've heard it.
Yes, I often do, even in satsang.
Well, I've heard that this is our negative karmas or...
This must be a guest house gossip. I don't know where and how can mind think such things, I don't understand. So if I don't yawn, it means something is wrong with initiation? Perhaps representative don't yawn at the time of initiation, so that is not right. I don't know, we try to give significance to every little detailed thing you see. You're the normal function of the body. When you are tired and you're sleepy, you naturally yawn. And perhaps you people are responsible for my yawning. Yes.
So what is meant by using the intellect to pierce the intellect?
You see, intellectual people like to be satisfied. He likes to satisfy his intellect. Intellect is a barrier in our way. Because unless it is satisfied, it doesn't let you build any faith. And unless there is a faith, there is no practice at all. So intellect naturally will pierce the intellect. Intellectual people, because intellect is a barrier. Now you need an intellect to understand the philosophy. Because you can't brush aside your intellect and follow any path. That will again come in your way, bump in your way. So you need your intellect to satisfy your intellect, which is in your way. This is a way of expression. Mean that intellectual people should not just brush aside the intellect and follow any path. He must satisfy himself from every aspect of Santmata teaching. Even if his whole life is lost, it's not time lost, it's time gained. He's building on a rock, as Christ said, not building on a sand. That is why he gave the example of a building on a sand and building on a rock. Either we should be fortunate enough not to have any intellect at all, which is very rare in this age. Or if we have one, we must satisfy it. Yes?
Master, in one of the books about the great master, there was a discussion in which he said something about a satsangi should never accept gifts from other people, or that if he does, he will have to pay for them. I'm not certain if I'm correct.
No, that was not the point. You see, the philosophy behind is that we should not be a burden on anybody. We should not live on the charity of anyone, not on the gifts of anyone. Otherwise, reciprocal arrangements, there's no problem. We have to give and take in this life. We are part of a chain. We can't isolate ourselves absolutely. So, in family people, in our friends, we do give, we do take. There's no problem. But we shouldn't be a burden on anybody. Yes.
Master, I would like to ask you something. We saw the people from mountain before yesterday. They are not intellectual people. And we so-called, we are intellectual. But I think the lot of those non-intellectual people is purer than ours. They don't have so many questions like we do.
Well, brother, you're right in that way. Either we should be very simple, just to build the faith. and practice. Or we should be intellectual and we should satisfy the intellect and again build the faith and practice. Whosoever builds that faith and practice, it comes to the same level. Whether as a simple person, whether as an intellectual person. Intellectual person rather has more depth. You see, he cannot be easily shaken at all. Once his intellect is satisfied. Simple person, there is always a danger he may not be shaken. But he is easy for him to build faith for a simple person. And he is quick to build his faith. An intellectual paper takes little long. But he is building on a rock also. So, whosoever has satisfied the intellect has the same love and same faith and same practice. There's no difference in that. They take little longer time, simple people take little less time. That's all.
But when I am so busy to fabricate new questions, I don't have time for love.
No, that doesn't mean that if one has questions, one has no love. There may be many reasons for asking questions. Some just want to occupy 45 minutes here. And some just want to say something. And as I said many times, mostly we ask those questions whose answer we already know. And only those answers will satisfy us, the answer of which we know. If the answer is different, we don't agree with the answer at all. That is our way of always thinking. Mostly, not all. So, questions are asked from so many different points of view. Yes?
Did the master ever take the soul of the disciples in a congregation without the disciples?
Well, the disciple will have to be aware when he goes to the higher region. When the disciple's consciousness goes to those levels, the disciple will be aware of all that. Pardon? It's whenever he will go there, he is aware of it, naturally. Yes?
Person has read a couple of books, but I don't quite understand it. How is the man get private reading?
Master?
Like, how the great master teaches successor?
That is entirely for him. It is same thing, how does the master pick up the disciples? Let us understand at this level. Then we will understand at the higher level also. A rich man can pick up anybody and make him rich. He can give his wealth to anyone. And that is entirely his discretion. How he works, he knows best. Yes?
This is a previous question about the soul knowing. After the third stage, the mind is left behind. It was said in earlier evening. But that doesn't mean that awareness is left behind, right? We can still be aware.
No, mind is not left behind at the first stage. It is beyond the second stage.
Yep, third stage.
Yes. But you are aware. Soul is more powerful, more aware than the mind. You see, mind also derives its power from the soul. Mind derives from the power from the soul and still dominates the soul. Without the soul, mind is dead. It has no life. It takes the life from the soul and then it dominates the soul. So awareness is of the soul.
Of the soul, not of the mind.
You see, soul gives the life to the mind. Otherwise, mind is jad, it is dead.
What does it mean then when we say we leave the mind behind?
When you go beyond the realm of mind and Maya, you go beyond the realm of mind and Maya, your soul shines now. It has become whole. It controls the mind. It is not dominated by the mind. That is what it means, the mind is left behind. Soul dominates the mind. It has become master of the mind now, and not the slave of the mind.
Question in Prabhupada. Only those who are destined to receive the blessings of Parama stay in the satsang of the saints. Talking about all the people who come. The others go away of their own accord. They are unable to stand the shock of the truth which they receive there, for they are not actuated by a sincere and pure desire for Parama. What does he mean by that? What does he mean by the shock of the truth?
You see, some people are so traditionally bound with their old religions and old traditions. Their mind is so conditioned with the old tradition and old beliefs of the religion, they cannot bear the shock of the truth. Right from the beginning, you see, their mind has been conditioned in a certain way of thinking, in certain beliefs. And suddenly they hear, you're not to go to a temple, you're not to worship statues, and the reading of the books won't give you anything. You're not to go to the holy places to bath. It won't help you. Isn't it a shock for them at once? So sometimes it becomes difficult for them to bear that shock. Those who have given themselves to ritual and austerities and outside activities, it's a great shock for them, you see. Very few can stand it.
I wanted to also have another meaning. Great Master also says in philosophy that the Master sees his disciples like a pickle in a glass jar.
That is different point. That means, you see, Master knows the karma of a disciple, what he's going through. That is what it means. That is something very different.
The Master is a mirror, and that also is a shock.
No, this is something very different. Because this is talking about satsang. Those who are destined, they will understand the satsang, and they will be receptive to the satsang, and it will be very easily they will understand the philosophy. Those who are not destined, they cannot bear the shock. That is what Swamiji is trying to tell.
Well, what about the other question, where the Master is a mirror to the disciple, and sometimes that makes one almost not go away, but it is also a shock.
Where is it written that? You see, it is written with some reference to certain things. It's not just a one sentence you can pick up. As just you have read now, you see the reference to satsang, so it makes clear. So that also is must have written with some reference to certain things. Yes.
The feeling that a person gets in darshan, I was wondering if that's the receptiveness that a person has to the master.
Naturally. If the mind is receptive, then only he will have that emotions and that feeling. If the mind is not receptive, how will he have it? Yes.
Master, you just said that an intellectual person takes a longer time to start on the path than a simple person. And you said the other evening that the hill people were more simple and straightforward. Apart from meditation, how can an intellectual person acquire these qualities of simplicity and straightforwardness?
By satisfying the intellect. When his intellect is satisfied, he automatically becomes like them. That's what I said. That then he builds his faith. When you build your faith, all these things come in you. Simplicity and straightforwardness and everything. Yes.
Is a person born with a greater amount of intellect, or is it developed through study?
Pardon?
Is intellect something someone's born with, or is it only due to more formal schooling?
You see, even if it is in schooling, it is due to your destiny. You say you are born with it, or you have been you get from the school, it comes the same thing. Because according to your destiny, you will get the school. According to your destiny, you will develop in that school, in that atmosphere. Yes.
Is it okay to do bhajan
you do Simran sometimes?
Pardon?
Is it all right sometimes to do bhajan?
There's no harm. You see, if your mind is quite concentrated and you feel the pull, you can attend to bhajan. Normally, one should do Simran before bhajan. It helps. But sometimes if the pull is too strong, there's no ceremony that you must do Simran first and then try to hear it. You can give yourself to it. Yes.
It's been said that the mind, you can't trust it because it will always lead us astray. But all we have to follow is our mind. So how do we know what we're doing if we have to do something, whether it's...
You see, we develop a higher mind by meditation. So our conscience becomes stronger and stronger. And that will help you to guide rightly. Mind is same. But you are developing your higher mind. You are developing your consciousness, so to say. Your conscience. And that will always guide you that you are doing wrong. Yes.
Master, at what stage exactly is the intellect satisfied? Is it after initiation immediately, or can it go on many, many years after?
No, even before initiation. I would like people to satisfy the intellect even before initiation.
Then why are we not like the hill people?
No, you see, that faith will come by meditation. Intellect is satisfied to follow a path. Basically. Then you have to experience it.
Is there no way that we can fight against or control our intellect to become simple like these hill people?
You just satisfy it, you'll become simple.
But if it's already satisfied and we still don't seem to advance.
No, then it means it's not satisfied. Yes.
Also, I'm sorry to ask this question about intellect. But my experience with intellect is that it makes things more complicated. It doesn't satisfy itself. And I thought, somebody said that actually the master just opens a little window in our mind, and that's what satisfies.
Definitely intellects, whatever you are saying is absolutely right. It confuses us. So many books have been written, so many school of thoughts, so many religions, so many guides. What can the poor intellect do? Actually, when the pull comes from within, it automatically gets satisfied. Then your questions are not answered, but they are dissolved. They become meaningless for you. The same question becomes absolutely meaningless for you. You don't bother about those questions. When the pull comes from within. That is his way of satisfying our intellect. Yes.
But I think that's the other side of the free will.
I think you will leave this data with this question in your mind. No, you can ask, don't worry. Don't worry. Yes. You can ask.
No, I don't think it's really a question. I think it's just the other. It's almost like a catch-22 situation. You know, the free will, and then the intellect. You know, you have it, and then you don't have it.
So intellect just confuses us. That's right. So attend to meditation. That will dissolve all the problems. Yes.
In the learning of what you sow, you must reap. Does that apply with physical pain too? For instance, I suffer with a lot of back pain at times. Does that mean I must be one of those chaps that lashed up to a galley slave? I mean, if you cause somebody else that sort of pain.
You see, sister, we pay for those karmas in many ways. mental torture, physical torture. I mean, you can't analyze what you did. You can never know it. But we pay in many ways. Worry, anxiety.
And we feel meditation will help us to pay that time and we have to carry that burden.
Of course, meditation helps us to get rid of all those karmas, which pulls us back to this creation.
So with meditation, we cure the sick.
Sick in a well that you leave the body forever. When the body is not there, there's no sickness left. You withdraw from the body and go back to the level of the Father, then body becomes meaningless to you. You save yourself from birth and death, so where is the pain of physical body? We are doing nothing else but talking about love. If not talking about love, at least building love. Nothing but. We're all, every day we talk about love. Love is not something which you can describe, it has to be experienced. No matter how beautiful words you may use, but they're inadequate. It is something you feel, something you experience, something you cannot express. And then language is not the only means of communication.
If someone has not meditated for years, how can he make up for that?
By attending meditation.
Now, but can we make up for the lost time, or is it calculated?
Whatever is gone is gone. Whatever is left, we should try to make best use of it.
So that does not matter then the time that is lost?
Pardon?
Doesn't that matter the time that is lost, that to make up for that?
No, one shouldn't think like that. Whatever time is left, we should try to make best use of it. And live to relate to grace of the Lord.
I've got another question, Master. I've read a story in Tales of the Mystic East that there were two disciples, the one that attended satsang and had very bad luck, and the one who did not attend satsang had all the luck. So they went to the guru and asked him why that was. And the guru said that they explained to him their past and karma. And the one who attended satsang, he had to be hanged in this life. And because he attended satsang, he did not had to be hanged anymore.
Is it in the Tale of the Mystic East?
Yes.
I don't recollect that story. Tale of the Mystic East? You sure?
Yes.
Must be. You see, we have actually collected these stories from Maharajji's satsangs. Actually, I have done it. It must be the first book to be printed when I came to class. Because we remembered more of satsang through stories rather than otherwise. And stories attracted us to see the satsang mostly, rather than the satsang itself. As children, you see, naturally we are brought up here, so stories always took us to satsang. So the first thing when I came here, I told Professor Mohalla that let us collect all these stories which we have been hearing from Maharajji's satsangs. So we collected here and there. The stories are all with reference to certain spiritual lessons, certain spiritual significance. So we collected them in a manuscript form. I read at that time. Must be 30 years ago. I've forgotten all that. After that, I've never read all that. So I may have forgotten anything. They're quite interesting stories.
Yes, but what I want to know now is that true?
I don't know. Unless I read the whole story, you see, and unless I know from which satsang it has been taken. Because it must be in certain reference to satsang, you see. So they are part of satsangs. I'll have to see the story. I can't say in what way it is written. and what is significance. But it must be true, whatever is there.
Because I also read in some books, being in the presence of the master washes away lives of karmas.
Yes, but who is in the presence of the master?
We.
No. Where is the master? That is the latent form of the master, which helps you to wash away your karma. It is just not mere physical presence in the physical presence of the master. And then, this Guru Nanak Sahib has said this, but people only take one line, and the second line they don't try to read or understand. He said, in presence of the master, those who take the master and do not find any difference in the master and the God, they have so much faith in him. Their karma have been taken care, they will never come back. We just read the one line and forget the other one. And who can have that? Who can build that much faith? Without meditation, it's very difficult to get that.
When we're saying Simran in meditation and trying to picture the master inside, is it appropriate to be saying Simran as if speaking to the master?
Yes.
As if talking to the master? Simran.
Yes.
Should it be said as though one were speaking to the master inside?
You should, repeat these 5 holy names, not talk to the master. That you are just talking to with your own mind. If you see the master is talking to you, then you can talk to him. Otherwise, it is your own mind which is talking to you. That is no Simran.
One evening you described Dhyan, a part of Dhyan, as doing the Simran in the presence of the master.
Yes, that is something different. You see, while doing Simran, we should try to visualize on the form of the master. If we are not successful, then we should feel that master is here sitting at the eye center. And being there, we are in his presence doing Simran. Simran of these 5 holy words. That would also help us to be there at this spot. That's what I meant.
Okay. May I ask another question about that?
Please.
I don't really know that I feel longing, but I know that I think about wanting to feel longing. Is that inappropriate during meditation? Shall that thought also be wiped out?
Longing for what?
For the master, for inner knowledge.
You see, naturally some sort of pull is always there, which impresses upon us the necessity of the meditation. Without that little pull from within, we are not drawn to meditation. That has to be there. And that is there whether you are conscious or not.
So that should not be considered as a thought to be thrown out.
What is there to throw out about it? That should induce you to attend to your meditation. Yes.
If a person has inner vision, should they still try to do Dhyan or Dhyan?
You can keep your attention there. You see, I have explained so many times. The purpose of Dhyan is just to hold your attention there, nothing else. With the help of Simran, we withdraw our consciousness to the eye center. And the purpose of Dhyan is to hold your attention there. But when you see the light, it automatically your attention is held there. That catches your attention there. That doesn't let your attention go anywhere out. So whatever you see, you are doing Dhyan of all that. And real Dhyan is when we see the raging form of the master. That is our real Dhyan. That is our real purpose. Dhyan means then we are lost in his love there. That automatically is dhyan. When you meet your beloved, you are just lost in looking at the beloved. And that is real dhyan. Helplessness of the disciple to look at the master. So that doesn't let attention go anywhere down.
Does beyond mean particularly the master's mind?
No face. How can you, eliminate the nose and the forehead and the lips? You'll be just fighting with yourself to elimination. Naturally, it is the eye which catches you the most. But general face. Yes, sister.
Yes, Master. I've heard from a satsangi who's been on the path much longer than I have that we should say Simran continuously. I do understand that. She said, if you are saying your Simran and you happen to, a satsangi happens to walk into the path of a bus and gets killed, they would go straight through to Sachkhand and never come back.
I have not had anywhere in the places yet. That again must be a guest house call. I have not had anywhere. You see, that advantage is there, your attention is towards the Lord. That advantage naturally is there. But doesn't mean that you go straight to such
Master, I am a bit confused and I want you to tell me what is the real picture of my idea. I understood that an initiated person who is practicing the meditation, if he has passed the four regions and the fifth region, he sees the master. But the other night, you told someone else that in order to answer the whole question that is going on in the mind of the disciples, the master talks with him, but in a second region. But by my own experience, I also feel that the master is, even if the present form, the physical form of the master is not with us, one can feel that he is there and is a physical, it's a sort of physical form in this level. But I quite do not understand why that happens.
I don't understand. It is such a long statement. When I reached the end, I forgot. Can you just brief it? What is the contradiction? Just tell me that.
No, there is no contradiction in that.
Then,
but I do not understand why it happens like that. Because they have told me that to see the inner form of the master, one has to go to the fifth region. But
no, who says you have to go to fifth region? Where is it?
no, somebody told me.
You see, you should depend more on literature rather than the hearsay and just people talking, all sorts of guesses. You see the latent form of master much earlier. Without that, you can't reach to that stage. Without that, you can never reach to that higher stage.
Thank you.
Yes.
Master, the other day I was told a story by a fellow satsangi about the master was giving a satsang to a bunch of devotees, and there was one devotee that kept throwing rocks at the master. And all the time, when the master would give satsang, he would just keep throwing rocks. And then one day it started to rain, and all the other devotees ran away because it started to rain. And this one satsangi kept throwing rocks. He stayed in the rain and kept throwing rocks. Now, at the time of his death, he went to Sach Khan. Can you explain?
See, one who told you should have asked him to. How can I explain if somebody else has told me?
Well, the other night, I asked you a question about, blaspheming the Lord, and you said, well, that's a way to get his attention. You know, if you pray and you don't get any response, sometimes you scream and yell, and maybe curse him to get his attention. And so...
You see, you hear all sorts of gossips, I would say, which has no foundation, no base.
Yeah.
Then you want my explanation for all this. When there is so much literature, why don't you read all those books? There's nothing which is not answered in the books. Nothing which is not mentioned in the books, which we supposed to know, which we need to know, which we should know. When you run to the people who like to hear such things, you say, I don't know why.
No, you did tell me the other day. Like you always forget the
Person to explain you. Yes.
Isn't the concept though to have the attention in the master?
What concept?
The concept that she's talking about, that it's
You
better
can
to
ask
have.
her and the gentleman. I don't understand this concept. By throwing a stone, you see, you go to such person.
No, the thing was that he stayed in the rain. While all the other devotees ran away because it started raining, he still stayed.
So that is all right. It means he has good love. You see, he has a great love for the master. But just by throwing stone, what has stone to do with that? He's staying in the rain. It has no, sequence, rain and throwing stone. No sequence.
Well, he was trying to get the master's attention by throwing rocks at him.
By throwing stone at the master?
Yes.
Very good idea. I hope the master wasn't about to die.
Isn't that like us throwing all our questions at you all the time?
Pardon?
In a way, it's like us throwing all our questions at you all the time.
Anyway, questions don't hurt. There's a difference between a stone and You see, one thing, you mix with the Indian Satsangi, they tell you straight. And mostly you don't understand what it means. Because they don't understand English. And they can't explain you fully also. And you don't understand their language. And you don't understand fully what they're trying to tell you. And then they are, with them also, imagination and gossips. Well, I don't know. These things have no base at all. Yeah.
Maharaji, I think I read or was told that story a long time ago, and the point was not really that it happened or that somebody really threw rocks at the master, but that as I remember the story, it was trying to explain that our negative attachments are very strong too, and that the person that hated the master, maybe he was more attached to thinking about the master in his hatred of throwing the rock than the person who said that he loved the master left when it rained. And I think the point was not to make us throw rocks at the master or to get his attention, but more that we should eliminate our hatred.
I've said so many times. If you cannot love him, then hate him. Because in hatred, what is the base of a hatred? We want to love somebody and we cannot reach to his love. And we start hating him. See, we expect certain things from the other person. It doesn't come to our expectation. And we start hating him. This also creates an attachment. We are also obsessed with hatred with a certain person. There is an attachment. And you go where your attachment is. Whether you create it by love, whether you create it by hatred. So you are obsessed with hatred. And hatred with the master. So in a way, you have attached yourself to the master. So someday you may find your way to the master indirectly. Because we have to go where our attachments are. We only dislike those people who don't come to our level of thinking, our level of expectations. So we don't like them. Sometimes we start hating them. That is the base of our hatred.
I was reading Sarabachan today, in the early part of Sarabachan, Swamiji says something I didn't understand. He's talking about Dhyan. We were talking about Dhyan 2 questions ago. He said Dhyan is the ability to take the sarup up and bring it down. It just doesn't tie in with what we've been thinking about as Dhyan. Could you explain that?
You see, you try to visualize the farmer here at the eye center. It means you are trying to withdraw from the 9 apertures and come up here. That is the purpose of Dhyan.
Is that all he meant in that sentence?
Pardon?
Is that all Swamiji was talking about when he said that? The ability to take the sarup up.
Ability to bring us here, to the eye center. That is why we do Dhyan. Yes.
Master, our really work and our really effort is to be able to concentrate. So when we start to concentrate and to recollect the energy, we build this down. Eye focus and passing through the body, recollecting this energy. How we can avoid some, I don't know how to call it, you can start to tremble, your heart beat, and you start to swallow, and then later on you reach the peace. But when you reach the peace, you are really tired. How can we avoid those things?
You see, that is why this process is slow. This process of Simran, joined by process of Simran is very slow, slowly and slowly, just to avoid all these things that you are trying to explain. It does happen, especially at the throat center. It becomes very dry, and as if you are tired of speaking, and your throat has become hoarse, and a deep, strange sort of sensation in the throat. You see, which you cannot explain, and there is no sickness at all. That is why we explained at the time of initiation that we should drink a little any liquid and just rub with our hand, it will be all right. There is no illness at all. You see, not only this, but to draw from the eye center, many sorts of activities come in our body. They become active sometimes. Many activities in the body become active. So that is why we are drawing very slowly and slowly. It's a very slow process.
And I feel a very big heat, and I even start to sweat.
That's right. Sometimes happens. It does happen sometimes, you see. That is why we sit all alone in a room, and sometimes it's better to even lean against some hard substance, that we may not get little jerk and fall. But it's not that everybody must feel it. Some people feel the same, others don't feel at all.
Master, I've read in Sammat literature where us as human beings have a very limited ability to love. I mean, actually, we can't love at all. We don't know how to love, true love. And that we get that from the Master, the ability to love. Is this true? Oh, it has to be true.
I thought we are coming to the final session of the question. And today I feel that we have just started again. See, the Lord gives his own love. He pulls. And we become helpless to love. Seed is sown by him. and then it sprouts. Without his marking, his pull, nobody can even worship the Father.
Well, I meant more love for humanity, for other people. You know, like, as the saying is, we're supposed to love, like, and not hate. You know, not
If you are filled with love and devotion for the Father, all qualities like cream come on just like a milk in you. You will be humble, you will be kind, you will be compassionate, you will be loving, you will be noble, you will be good to everyone. Automatically. You will be honest, you won't like to cheat and deceive anybody. Just as the cream comes on a milk, so these qualities automatically come in us when we are filled with love and devotion for the Father. Because we want to do which pleases Him, and we avoid doing which displeases Him. If we hate anybody, we hate the Father who is in that person. If we cheat anybody, we cheat the Father who is in that person. Now we are concerned with the Lord who is in the people, not with the people at all. And we don't want to annoy Him at any cost, because we are so much in love with Him. Automatically you will be filled with humility, compassion, with kindness.
Should a disciple expect anything from the Master?
What do you mean by expecting anything?
You were talking a few minutes ago about hating the Master and how that arises from having expectations which the Master does not meet.
No, you see, expectation that we don't believe in this philosophy and he's teaching this philosophy. Our expectations are of his traditional beliefs and traditional religion, and somebody, you see, is just speaking the reverse. So we don't like him. He hasn't come to our expectation. So we get obsessed. Not any other expectation, but you are trying to say. Yeah.
Master, a lot of times you say that things come automatically. Are all of these things that you're saying come automatically, predestined?
What do you mean by predestined?
Like, you said that love for the Father, it comes automatically. And when you just explain the qualities, they come automatically. And
Destiny has given us this human birth. And we have to account for certain karmic relationships, karmic debts. But during this destiny, or during this human birth, we have to create that love and devotion in us to get all these qualities. As a human only we can do that, not in any other species.
But
Destiny has given us an opportunity, facility, environment, full within. Now we have to make use of it.
is destiny the same thing as master?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You say that destiny does these things for us. We can't do anything. The master does everything. We are nothing. So
When we submit to master, then we are nothing. Now since we are submitted to the mind is everything. We become nothing when we don't exist anymore, when we cease to exist. We merge in somebody, then we are nothing. Now we are everything because mind dominates us. Just intellectually we are talking about. A little needle prick, anybody kills you, you cry. You don't say that, why should I cry? Let master cry now. Then at once now you come. Where is the master now? If you have given yourself to the master, you don't exist anymore. These are all intellectual things and just intellect. We don't give ourselves at all. We don't submit at all. Mind is still dominating us. When we have surrendered the mind, gone beyond the realm of mind and Maya, then we can say we are not doing anything, Master. And we are nothing. At that stage, you can not.
Could you say something more about taking the self out?
In what way?
Babaji says in all his letters, take the self out and let them focus on the mind.
That is what he means to say. That surrender your mind to the Master. And that's the only way of surrendering is to attend to your meditation. Merge it into the Shabad and Guru Nanak says, Shabad mare soi jan pura. If you die into the Shabad, meaning you cease to exist and become the Shabad, then you are whole, then you shine, then you become whole. Means death, your death, means you don't exist anymore. You have died into Shabad. You have merged into Shabad, you don't exist, you have eliminated yourself at all. You have become Shabad. You become whole. Yes?
If we are attending to our meditation regularly and doing sound during the day and reading the Satmat principles, and yet at night, if we're plagued by repetitive dreams of very bad things, violence or hatred, or is this the lower mind trying to rebel to get back at us or something, or what is it?
But sister, there are so many reasons for that. Sometimes, you see, right from the childhood, we have certain suppressions which come in the form of dreams. Sometimes even past associations or past birth, they even also jump in at the time of dreams. Mind projects those things, you see. Mind has still association with all that, which you have never thought about in the world at all. Since mind has association, sometimes all those things may come in the dream. But mostly our suppressed thoughts, suppressed desires.
Is it just a matter of time then, years?
It's always better to read Sarbachan or do Simran before sleep.
And if still the dreams come, it's just a matter of time with meditation?
Yes. This definitely helps. This definitely helps on the nightmare. Because then your attention is in the Simran, concentration is toward Simran. And also atmosphere you breathe by reading it. And then devotional book. That helps before sleep.
When the Master gives longing for his radiant form inside, and the disciple has not reached that yet, there seems to be a place where the disciple is in a place of nowhere and of great impatience. How does the disciple replace impatience with surrender?
How to build that patience?
How does the disciple replace impatience with surrender? Because to me, impatience means that we want Master to come to our expectations, but you can't help longing for his form inside, but you can't have it, and you're in that place where there's nothing but impatience.
If the longing is there, pull is there, then attend to meditation. That will solve your problem. Make use of that. Yes.
Oh, Master, I have had the experience of seeing or experimenting when one told that one has seen a ghost. Why there are spirits or human souls who have been disincarnated, but they are not able to go neither to heaven, neither to hell, and they can't take the human body. But why they are in that state?
There are certain spirits
Yes,
which don't come to be flesh.
yes. But they are not inherent, they are not in health, and they can't have a human body. Why?
Their species. 84 lakhs. It's difficult even to count. 8,400,000 species.
But there are no also in the minerals. There are no animals. And there are no minerals, there are no vegetables, but there are spirits floating around. Why?
They're species. They're certain species.
Do they have to work, to develop, or do they have the job just to offset us?
They get go to their karma. They go to their karma. After that, they may come anywhere.